Hey, what's going on YouTube? We're Oversaturated, the podcast where we discuss music, movies, pop culture, and everything in between. I'm Ralph.
This is Johnny.
YouTube exclusive. Right,
exclusive.
exactly. Usually we do podcast only stuff. You might see the podcast fully on YouTube, but now we're trying to branch out and give you more exclusive content for the YouTube page. So, we're going to start doing a little bit more content, giving you stuff maybe once a week, twice a week. You never know how we give it up.
Facts. And yeah, man. So today, well, for right now, we're gonna review the Eminem album, "Music to Be Murdered By," surprise album that dropped early in January.
Yeah, definitely toward the what maybe New Year's, damn near New Year's Day. It felt like, right? Well, it wasn't that
It was
soon.
like maybe the first
week?
first full week, sometime in there.
Okay.
Yeah, it was random.
But yeah, "Music to Be Murdered By," the 11th studio album by Marshall Bruce Mathers.
Is his middle name Bruce for real?
Mm.
Why do you know this shit? God damn.
Yeah, but it's another number one album for him. I think it's his 10th consecutive number one. Hey, salute to the rap god Eminem. I have my criticisms, I always troll, but I do respect his greatness. So, especially in the wake of Kobe Bryant, I gotta start giving people their flowers, man.
Hey, no, that's
salute
a fact.
for
That's
real,
a fact.
for real. Like I have my criticisms, but I think he's still overall one of the best. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, this album was a surprise. It came in the middle of the night. I was just happened to be up that night when it dropped on Apple Music. I shot the link to Johnny.
Yeah, I was asleep. I looked at it. I was like, "The fuck is this?" And then I rolled back over. So when I woke up the next morning, I clicked on it. I was like, "Oh shit, this is a whole album."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, let me turn this on." Then.
Yeah. So now it's coming off the success of Kamikaze, right? Which was 2018.
Yes. Yep.
So we had a full year to digest Kamikaze, kind of get that out of our systems and whatever we thought about it. So what expectation level did you have for this album before you hit play?
None. Because when that shit came out, I was like, I can't believe this is an Eminem album. So I literally went into it like, I didn't know what to expect. I really didn't.
Yeah.
Especially coming off of Kamikaze. Like, Kamikaze was cool.
Yeah.
But I haven't gone back to listen to it. Like, it was a bitter album. It was a response album to the criticism from Revival.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's definitely not something I revisit. Like, the Ringer, the intro was cool.
Yeah.
But like, I haven't listened to anything on the album since 2018.
No, that's fair. That's fair to say. I didn't really have expectations. Like, I saw the link. First of all, I saw the social media chatter. I went to my Apple Music page. I saw it. I was like, okay, cool. I instantly, at least download it so I can get it in my library. I'll get to it. I didn't have like a high level of expectations for it because I just know that it's Eminem. I know he's gonna rap, but I just don't know where the music is gonna go.
Right.
So that's like I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
So now we're kind of getting into like the overall thoughts. Like before we get into the highs and lows, like what was just your general POV of the album?
After listening to it fully the first time, I was like, wait, this actually isn't bad. Like, this album sounds really good. It sounds like Eminem is having fun rapping again.
Yeah.
He's not out here trying to prove anything.
Yeah.
If he is, it's only to himself. Like, we all know Eminem can rap.
Yeah.
Eminem knows he can rap.
Yeah.
But I feel like he needs to, in which he did on his album, he needs to stop responding to the masses and just create music, which is what I feel like he did on this album. Yeah. So
my thoughts of the album, I think it's a pretty good album. I mean, for the most part, I mean, I can nitpick anything, but I think that it was it was still overall good. The beat selection was we'll get into that, but I think, like you said, I think that he's not trying to prove anything, and that's one thing that always kind of turned me off about Eminem. He's always trying to prove, and I understand you're the white boy in rap, and we give you a lot of flack for that, but we know you can rap.
Yeah, exactly.
I think what we came from is I think it's always the hype about Eminem. It was never the talent. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're talking about Eminem, which we'll get into, like, with Legacy, is just, he's always top tier lyricist and storyteller. So it's not, that's over there.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So I think the album was cool, but let's get into these highs, like the highs of the album. Now, what do you think is the absolute peak of this album to you?
Song-wise or just in general?
Let's talk songs first. Let's talk individual songs.
Man, so first of all, there aren't a lot of features, which I appreciate on any album, period. But the features he did have, he had Young and May. Young and May killed her verse. I thought that was dope. Royce is on there a couple times. Yeah. Royce actually produced on this album too on a couple songs. Ed Sheeran, which I kind of, if I knew this album was coming out, I would have expected something similar to that. Juice WRLD, who I have,
rest in peace, Juice.
Yeah,
WRLD.
rest in peace. I personally have never listened to any of his music. If I have, I didn't know it was him. Yeah. But he killed his hook. Like the hook he was on, dope. Skylar Grey, of course, and Anderson .Paak, and 3/4 of the Slaughter, if you will.
We'll get into that too.
Yeah. But man, like it's hard to choose a peak song because we get so many different versions of Eminem on this album, which I appreciated so much. Like I appreciated it. If I had to pick, I would maybe Godzilla, because actually on all of these songs he switches his flow on every song, and no flow is the same. But on Godzilla, I feel like he demonstrated lyrically and delivering his lyrics the best.
That's the one he got the Guinness World Record for, or some silly shit. Because around 200 words, I don't care.
That shit, no, that's fine. Listen, I'm biased to speed rap. Like I'm biased to that. I love that shit.
I was like, okay, well,
that shit was hard.
I'm like, okay, yeah, all right, Eminem. But to me, I think the best song on this album, and it might be the darkest, is Darkness. No pun intended when I said that. But because of his vivid telling of, the forgot old boy name, and it's not really for me to remember, but the Las Vegas shooting, rest in peace to those victims. I know it's kind of a controversy with that. Eminem's good for that, but just the sheer storytelling on this is what I can, appreciate, because I thought it was almost like some 8 Mile shit, long spaghetti, and I'm like, oh, knees with long spaghetti, what the fuck. but no, seriously, it was just like, I'm like, okay, like I was like, okay, and the beat, like, I mean, everything kind of played into it, and then the news clips at the end, and one thing
that shit was eerie,
and I would say the highs of this album are the Alfred Hitchcock voices. The intro, the outro, the interludes and stuff like that. Oh man!
So this album is based off of Alfred Hitchcock's Music to Be Murdered by album, which I had no clue what that was, and I saw articles about it, and I tried to read some of the articles, but he's paying homage to that. I think it's a comedy album or something, if I'm not mistaken. So I thought that was dope that Eminem did that.
But definitely, definitely a song with Young and May. Like, I'm surprised to see Young and May on a Eminem album, and she held her own.
100%.
I still think Eminem came through and,
I mean, come on, man.
It's like, damn, Em, let her live. But intro, dope.
Oh no, he's no.
Intro, fire.
He spazzed on that intro.
I'll give Marshall that.
Like, come on, man.
I'll give him that.
He didn't sound bitter. He sounded like he just wanted to get his point across. He didn't sound like he was trying to attack anyone. He was just like, look, this is what it is. This is how I feel. Yeah. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Oh, it was great.
I definitely dope that. And No Regrets of Don Toliver. Dope. Yeah. Dope song. Now, let's get
No. Wait. A lot of people. No. Let's get to the lows. Let's get to
that's what I'm saying. Let's get to these lows.
Because I was about to say something else. You do your lows first, because I'm gonna try to piggyback off what I think one of your lows is.
Well, my first low is definitely that song with Ish.
I knew it.
That shit is garbage.
No, it's not. It's not though.
Skill.
I love that song. That's not a skill.
That is a hell of a skill.
And
Eminem club records are never good songs.
And that's what I was saying. Like,
that is never good.
Like, we get a lot of different Eminems on this album, and we get the club Eminem. Now,
take me back to my D12 days.
Hey,
I'm like, hey, fuck up. Ain't trying to shit from you, Marshall.
Hey, trying to take the waitress to the motel. Hey, he said, that's what I'm saying.
He said lean back.
He did, so.
Like,
listen.
It was a lot of outdated, corny stuff. And that's the shit I be on Eminem head about. What? I'm like, fam.
So what? Listen, man. I think Eminem has a decent track record of club records. You remember the joint with Akon? Smackdown? Listen. For what that song is for, that shit comes across. I ain't saying.
I'm letting them talk.
Listen, I'm not saying those particular songs or not meant to be lyrical. They not meant for him to like show his lyrical prowess and all that type of shit. It's been just have fun, get the party started. Fuck it.
It comes across so disingenuous with his Eminem.
Swear to God, Akon didn't kill that hook. The joint he had with fucking Nate Dogg. Damn, what's the name of the damn song? There she go, shaking that ass on the floor, bumping and grinding that pole. The way she's grinding that pole, that shit was fire. Okay. I love this Ed Sheeran song. I love it. It's one of those kind of nights.
The next big skip on this damn album, Stepdad.
Nah, that I agree with.
That skip.
Man.
Like now, Eminem's always angry, and that's one thing that's always been his motivating factor. Talking about his life, right? It's something about this Stepdad song. I would definitely say it's the hook. Like I never really liked songs where Eminem is really like screaming on hooks. That's always been kind of like a a nuisance to me personally. That doesn't take away from what he was trying to purvey on the song, right? And my last big knock, the 3/4 of the Slaughter song. I don't really think it was that good.
Okay.
And I think I don't get into I can't get into the personal because I don't know any of these guys anything personally. I wish I would, so shout out to y'all, right?
Yeah.
But I think this could have been a moment where Eminem and Joe could have did a song together.
Joe's retired.
But
Joe Budden don't want to rap no more. He's mentioned that so many times.
But no, fuck rapping with Slaughterhouse. Imagine if it was just Joe and him on the song.
No, that's
now that would have been fire.
Would have been fire.
Now that's I think that's my wish, and I think that could have been a moment, right? Because this album, as much as I nitpick it, right, it's still overall just a good album, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we had time to really sit with this album. Because if we reviewed this the weekend
when it came out, listen,
I was trashing
it.
I was gonna trash it,
Man.
but I had time to really sit and digest this album, and I still think that is definitely a good album. It's too long, but a good album.
You think it's too?
I think it's 2 albums because I feel like when he gets to Stepdad, it starts over. It's almost like a different, like even though you still have the Alfred Hitchcock stuff, I think it's just that he's threw a whole bunch of songs in there toward the,
That's interesting.
That's just how I viewed it.
I like that tape.
Yeah.
I like that tape.
Mm-hmm.
I do it. So I thought I was tripping on the I Will song.
Yeah. I didn't think it was that good.
I really thought I was tripping. I listened to it a bunch of times.
It's like I want
this to be so good because you got Crooked Eye, you got fucking Joel and Royce. No, like it's damn. Okay, cool. So I'm not crazy.
Yeah. So
that definitely Stepdad. That's a complete skip. Like I listened to it the first time through the album.
And then to hear honestly, the intro is kind of off-putting. But
yes.
That was very uncomfortable, to hear that. But,
yeah, it's like I can't.
But that's always been Eminem albums, though.
True.
That he's staying true to form.
But I don't know what it is about this one. I don't know if it's because I'm older now and I can't really take that type of
You took it as really as entertainment when you were a kid.
Yeah.
And especially when you don't grow up in that. You know what I'm saying?
True.
But when you get older and you get some real life experience,
I got more life under my belt now.
It's you hear some shit like that, that's a little wild. I'm like, I can't do that.
Can't do that. But those are really my only lows.
The lows are just like nitpick stuff, right?
Some of the beats, some of the production, it's kind of iffy. Like the joint Yaya with the Black Thought,
debatable.
The beat is terrible. The beat is horrible. I'm sorry. The beat is just not good. Yeah. Not good. Royce's verse, it's like. Now, to me, this is me though.
You think Royce gave Eminem some mid verses on his album? Like
that one?
I don't think Royce really flowed. Like Royce is featured on the album, but do you think Royce really went off like he did on Kamikaze? Those are 2 different things, right?
Of course, no, yeah.
Yeah, like the verses Royce put on this album, I think they just alright too.
Yeah, they straight.
They straight.
They okay.
Like,
they okay. Now,
okay, I thought it was just me.
No. That real shit. Now, Black Thought on the other hand.
Okay, now you got that.
Black Thought's verse to me, so when the song came on, I was like, what the fuck is this? But Black Thought is on it, so I'm gonna listen to it regardless.
Yeah.
So when Black Thought came through on the beat, he rolled the beats differently than everybody else. I was like, okay. I guess I get it now. But Black Thought's verse was fire.
Yeah.
And I almost feel like he freestyled that verse. And oh my God. Black Thought is the greatest rapper ever. Like, fuck it. I don't.
Shout out to Eminem for keeping Skylar Gray's career going too.
Oh, that's a fact. That's a fact. Oh, whoever the young lady is on the intro singing, she. Oh my God, she killed that shit. She killed it. I don't know who it is, but shout out to her.
Walked Out of Heaven is like for me.
Leaving
Out of Heaven. Nah. It's okay.
It's
not a complete skip though.
That's the self-reflective Eminem.
Yeah.
Like I appreciate that. That's like the way I am Eminem.
Yeah.
Like I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay. Well, hey man, now we gotta stop cutting the shit. Let's just get to the overall ranking of it. Now, out of 5, how many OSs you giving it?
Oh man,
5 being your classic, which this is not no shade.
Facts.
And 1 being just absolute dumpster trash juice basura.
Man, I'm literally in between like 3 and 4. So I think I'm gonna give it a 3.5.
Okay.
The reason I don't put it up to 4 is because of the production. Now, we talked about this on a previous episode, like what constitutes a classic.
Yeah.
And to me, it depends on the number of skips versus how long the album is. Yeah. Now,
this album
the Stepdad joint is a complete definite skip for me and you. That's the only, to me, that's like the only definite skill. Like, definite.
Some of this shit it depends on how you feel that day. Like, but
also true.
That I think that's it with
also
me.
True.
That's it with me. Now, were you done? Because I ain't want
to. Yeah, I give it a 3.5 OSs out of 5.
Okay. I give it a straight 3.
Okay.
Now, I think it's average. I don't think it's like I'm not calling Eminem average. I just think this body of work. Yeah. But I'm actually giving him kudos for being able to conceptualize an album.
Right.
Which something he hasn't been able to do in a long time. So the music to be murdered by, I expected so much more when I heard the title, and then when I'm getting to Alfred Hitchcock, I'm like, all right, he finna go in the intro. But it's just it has peaks and valleys in this album. I think it does have a few skills more than Johnny, says. I think it's probably maybe 3. You know what I'm saying? But that's 3 definite for me. But some of them it depends on honestly the day. But overall, the content is there, the beat selection is there, but very solid project from Eminem.
Definitely, man, especially for it to be so unexpected. Like, for him to throw out some unexpected, solid music, man, it was a great start to the year. Now,
if you want to go there, now we can kind of get to legacy because I'm glad you said that. Now you have an 11th studio album by a rapper who's probably in his late 40s, like he's 46, 47, somewhere in there, right? What do you think this album, does it take away from his legacy? Does it add, or does it just keep it kind of right where it is? Like he's just a train that keeps going. Like he's just.
I think at this point in Eminem's career, like whatever he does, like I think his legacy is cemented. I think it's cemented. So whatever he chooses to do from here on out, I think it's just him. Because he loves the music, loves to make music so much, he's just doing it to do it. Yeah. So I don't think it hurts or helps his legacy at this point. Yeah.
I don't think it hurts his legacy. I think it can only kind of add to it. I think it helps actually. Because with the last few albums, it's kind of been Marshall Mathers, LP2, Revival.
Rap God was on the show.
Okay, but yeah. And then Kamikaze is the response because you can't take criticism, which is even more insane when your whole career has been under fire, being criticized. So I couldn't understand why, when you try something different and people killed you, hey, it is what it is. But I understand people are human, but this is Eminem. We put him on a pedestal, so he has to take that fire. Yeah. It happens. So that's just how I look at it. I won't really get into the overall slandering of Eminem just like I usually do, but I can say that for another day, another time.
Yeah, because listen, there's a deeper conversation to be had about Eminem's career. Yeah. Just like as a whole. Yeah. And I don't mean just album wise. I mean like battle wise. I mean like everything outside of the actual album making. Like, there's a lot to be a lot of conversation to be had. So we'll do that on
that's
another video.
Another time.
Yeah.
But yeah, and if you already a fan of us, you know how we give it up. Top 5s. We always got to do a top 5. It wouldn't be us if we didn't do a top 5. So we're going to do the top 5 Eminem albums. I got my list. Johnny got his list. We'll go 5 through 1. See what happens. I'll start.
Okay.
I got number 5. I actually got Kamikaze. This 2018 release. I think that he needed that album as a redemption, because I'm telling you, he was on a cold streak. Bro was on a cold streak. And I mean, it just showed that he can rap. He was pissed off. He rapped his ass off. Music didn't really, stay around there with, but it was just like a moment, right?
Yeah.
And I think about that moment in hip hop when that album dropped, so that's why it's number 5 on my list.
So remember, this is a personal top 5.
Yeah, it's personal.
So please remember this. My number 5 is Encore. Now, the majority of this album, he not saying a fucking word.
That's what I was about to say.
A fucking word. But I don't know what it is, but I appreciate this album. Any song from this album I hear, like I'm spitting with it. Like,
that's when M started fucking with them pills.
No, true. Even though he ain't saying shit, like his delivery is still great. Like, Eminem has never in his life lost the ability to deliver bullshit raps. Mm-hmm. And this album is like the definition of that. Mm-hmm. Now there are some cuts on there. Yellow Brick Road was dope. Mm-hmm. I wish I got this shit pulled up. But Yellow Brick Road was definitely dope. Rain Man, I love Rain. The beat on Rain Man was hard. The way he rolled the beat on Rain Man was hard. Toy Soldiers was hard. Mm-hmm. And Evil Deeds. Mm-hmm. Those are like the top joints on that album to me. But I thought this whole album was dope. You ain't like Ass Like That? I know. What's some bullshit?
We just got the Eminem club talk, right?
I know, man.
But number 4 for me, I actually have Recovery, the 2010 release. Most Eminem heads really don't enjoy this album. I do. I think because I enjoy narratives when it comes to albums, right? Mm-hmm. Because he came off of Relapse, which was, but he came back, he sobered up. He had all, the Rihanna joint. Yeah. And I think that album was cohesive. I think that he was rapping still. I think it was just sober, and a lot of people didn't. It was different. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I think that's why he could make a Revival album, even though we didn't like Revival because of Recovery. I think that's the first time he started, working with Skylar Grey too. Yeah. Number 4.
My number 4 is actually Music to Be Murdered By.
Oh.
Now, I wanted to put this 5.
Recency. You didn't want to feel like it was.
Well, this album is better than Encore. Like, it's just better than Encore. You can't be upset.
It really is.
You can't be upset.
It really is.
But it's also slightly recency bias. But for the rest of the albums I have in my top 5, like all of the other albums, I don't really. Mm-hmm. I definitely don't remember them, and these other albums solidify him as a legend to me. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So number 4 is Music to Be Murdered By.
Okay. Number 3. This is probably my favorite, but I just know it's not the best. The Eminem Show. Okay. The Eminem Show was crazy. Like, Marshall was just in his bag by then. I think, even though, we have other albums before that, obviously, but I just think Eminem Show is the album. I think, I was really enjoying rap around that time. Right. So that was just, one of the Eminem albums I could probably stomach the most. That album, top to bottom, the skits was funny as hell. I think that was around the time the D12 era, too. So I think that kind of tied into it, my enjoyment of that album. So definitely, Eminem Show, number 3.
Dope. Number 3 for me, Slim Shady LP. Mm-hmm. This is Eminem's mainstream debut because he had Infinite joint before that. This album came out in '99 with the single "My Name Is," which I thought was at the time I thought it was a great song. How old was I? 10, 11?
Somewhere.
I didn't know what the fuck was going on, but I enjoyed this song. Mm-hmm. Then Guilty Conscience which I think is one of Eminem's greatest songs. Guilty Conscience is an amazing song.
Storyteller.
Definitely. Mm-hmm. And so again with this album, I just enjoyed this album more than the previous 2 that I mentioned. Like I just really enjoyed this album. So Slim Shady LP, number 3.
That's actually my number 2, Slim Shady LP, his major label debut. You got this white boy looking crazy on BET. Dr. Dre co-sign, right? I was like, okay, let's give it a shot. Album crazy as shit. He killed Kim on there 2-3 times, something crazy like that. It was something wild. But like you said, the Guilty Conscience joint, My Name Is. I really have nothing bad to say. That's just my number 2.
Dope. My number 2, the Eminem Show.
Okay.
I think this was. I'm trying to think. So this album came out in 2002.
Yeah.
And I think this was around the time Eminem became a little bit more self-aware in the music industry, I guess. We got more mainstream hits, I guess, if you will. But we also still got the original Eminem, and with songs like White America, Square Dance, which is one of my favorite songs of his. Cleaning Out My Closet, man. Without Me, Superman is on this album. Oh, I love it. Listen, I used to play that song on repeat for like hours. Like I swear to God, I love that song. Say What You Say with Dr. Dre.
That album was cold. Like that Eminem Show was cold.
Till I collapse.
I'm not with Nate Dogg. I'm not gonna hold you like Chuck. I'm a fan. That's why I'll be critiquing his ass so
my
much.
number one and number 2 really should have been 1A and 1B. Like
it's like that. It's like that.
Come on, man. Eminem Show was fire. Like
I'm
playing this shit tonight. Like just thinking about this shit.
I bought Eminem Show.
When the music come on, man.
Oh,
come on, man. Number 2, man.
Eminem used to snap.
Eminem Show.
But my number 1, as I guess you guys would know, Marshall Mathers LP.
Facts.
Staying the way I am. All right, case closed. All right, if you want to throw in bitch, please. All
I was about to say this is also my number 1 album. And I'm gonna add Kill You.
Okay.
Because that the first song off the album. And you said bitch please too.
Yeah, I mean if you want to bitch please.
Oh, and Remember Me with RBS and Sticky Fingers? No.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
No.
I forgot that.
No. Come on, man. Come on. Sit.
But staying in the way I am, bro. Like
listen,
I got nothing.
Listen. Drug Ballad. No, I'm listening to this shit too. Drug Ballad was fire. That's the sound of a bottle when it's howling when you swallow it all around and drown in your sorrow. With tomorrow, you're probably gonna want to do it again. Yeah. See, that's what I'm.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Man, shout out to Eminem. Like, come on.
Shout out to Marshall Bruce, man. Hey, salute to you, King. Like, I mean, hey, you have given us some music,
Marshall
but
Bruce.
Yeah, you know, you gave us, you had your peaks and valleys in your career. I just love to point that shit out.
He looked like a Bruce. He looked like
facts,
a Bruce.
Facts. But no, we hope you guys enjoyed this album review, this real quick career talk about Eminem.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Eminem. Let us know what y'all think, cause it's like Ralph said earlier. We have to start giving these legends their flowers while they're still here. Like we got to. Man.
Yeah.
And if you want to agree or not, Eminem is a legend. Yeah. Like he is.
He is.
So yeah, man. So hope y'all enjoyed that. We'll be doing more album reviews soon.
Yep.
And we'll holler at y'all later.
Yeah. Make sure you subscribe, hit the thumbs up, hit the notification bell too.
Facts. And check out Oversaturated the podcast on YouTube and all major streaming platforms.
Yes, sir. We'll catch y'all on the next one.
Peace.
All right, peace.